Bicentennial basketball and the spirit of the Sweet 16. 492 girls basketball teams, the most ever, started sectional play just a month ago. And it all pairs down through sectionals, then the districts, then the regional tournaments, to a Sweet 16 that came into Des Moines, and now only the two fabulous two that are left for the state championship game. And champions they are. 2 years ago, it was Manilla. Last year, it was View-Auburn. And these two neighbors, only 60 miles apart, match up tonight in another great basketball game for the state championship of girls in the state of Iowa. Yes, one of them tonight will join that elite group of basketball teams that have been state champions 2 times. View-Auburn and Manilla. Manilla comes in undefeated, and View-Auburn has lost only 3, 2 of those to Manilla in very close ball games. One of the highlights this week, like every state tournament, is the breakfast. That's held on Thursday morning, sponsored by the Retail Merchants Bureau of the Des Moines Chamber of Commerce. The highlight of the breakfast, the crowning of the Queen. Queen Debbie Yount of Southeast Polk. Debbie, an 18-year-old forward at Southeast Polk, was injured late in the regular season and didn't get to play a lot in the state tournament. However, what a thrill when she was named Queen of the Sweet 16. Each of the tournament team nominates their own Queen candidate. Debbie Yount was selected as the Queen. The Big Action Veterans Auditorium. The Governor of Iowa, Honorable Robert D. Ray, his wife Billy, and youngest daughter Vicki. Let's take a look at some of the excitement and action in the Consolation game. A matchup of big Cedar Rapids, Washington, the largest high school in the state tournament, with 750. Cedar Rapids, Washington in the white uniforms. And the little Cinderella school, Andrew, with only 58 girls in the high school in the dark uniforms. Cedar Rapids, Washington had a great 1-2 punch. This night it was forward Sue Peterson and Deb Franklin. Each had 37 points. And a great guard performance from Chris Gorman. Well, Andrew had a great tournament from Angie Summers, but her greatest night was this consolation game when Angie scored 52 points. But the girl that stole the ball, stole the show, and stole the hearts of the whole state of Iowa, Kim Peters, playing with only one arm. Well, in addition to stealing the hearts of Iowa, she stole the ball 6 times in this game, grabbed 11 rebounds. Cedar Rapids, Washington led the consolation game at halftime, 51-46. Went on to win 3rd place, 91-72, and they finished their greatest season ever, 29 wins and only 2 losses. For Andrew, it was 4th in the state tournament and a record of 27 wins and only 4 losses. The fans really look forward to the Parade of Champions, honoring all of the members of the Sweet 16 that performed earlier in the week. From Hardin County, the team of Ackley Geneva, Fred Frizzell, his Raiderettes, they won 22, lost only 5. They lost to Ankeny in the opening round. From Dallas County, Adel DeSoto, veteran coach Larry Niemeyer. His Tigerettes, a great year. They won 24, lost only 3. They lost to Andrew in the opening round of Sweet 16. From Polk County, Ankeny, Coach Dick Rasmussen's Hawkettes had a record of 26 wins, only 3 losses. They lost in the quarterfinals to Cedar Rapids, Washington. From Butler County, high-scoring Applington, Coach Dwayne Nievenhoven's Panthers won 26. They lost only 1. That 1 loss was to Mediapolis in the opening round in overtime. From Wright County, the Broncoettes of Belmont. Coach Howard Dorman's girls won 24, lost only 3 this season. One of those losses to Cedar Rapids, Washington in the opening round. From Page County, Clarinda, the Cardinalettes won 19, lost only 4. Their first time in Sweet 16. They lost to West Lyon in the opening round. From Southwest Iowa, Fremont County, Farragut, Coach Leon Plummer's Adettes, another great year, 27 wins, only 2 losses. They lost to Southeast Polk in the opening round. From Webster County, a large high school, Fort Dodge, made its first bid ever in the Sweet 16. Coach Ed McNeil's Dodgers won 23, lost only 4. Their loss in the tournament was to Manilla in the opening round. From southeast Iowa, Mediapolis, veteran coach Vern McClern. His Bullets, 27 wins, only 2 losses. Mediapolis lost to Manilla in the quarterfinals. From Polk County, southeast Polk, coached by Bob Merkel, the Rams won 21, lost only 5. They lost to Andrew in the quarterfinals. The second entry from Des Moines County, West Burlington, its first bid ever in Sweet 16. The Falconets, coached by Delmer Walker, won 26, lost only 1. That 1 loss was to Lake View-Auburn in the opening round. And West Lyon, from way up in northwest Iowa, Lyon County, West Lyon of Inwood, coached by Bill Lombard. The Wildcats, 26 wins, 2 losses. They lost to Lake View-Auburn in the quarterfinals. The parade continues with champion teams and champion individuals in 13 state championship competitions. Over the year, 2,465 Iowa girls and teams competed for titles. Girls that won championships in softball, both the summer and fall tournament, in swimming, in gymnastics, in track and distance running, both indoor and outdoor. Champions in synchronized swimming, volleyball, golf, in tennis, champions in both singles and doubles. And for the young men, they were co-ed champions as the boys and girls compete together as teams in golf and in tennis. 200 champion athletes in the parade of champions. Now, the evolution of America, a pageant that featured another 170 student musicians and marchers.
State of the Union, whose flag is presented with this replica of the Golden Dome Capitol building. The state of beautiful land and beautiful people, Iowa. America has been marching beneath the Star-Spangled Banner for 200 years. Our nation has been blessed, and in this year of our bicentennial, surely we as Americans can raise our voices in victory and lift our eyes to the future. May the road which lies ahead of us always be lit by the torch of freedom.
The excitement mounts as 14,354 people are set to meet the starters. Starter Shelley So, a guard from Manilla. Kay Pick, guard, Lakeview Auburn. Julie Hansen. Diane Booz of Lakeview Auburn. Tony Moore from Manilla. Gloria Oberding of Lakeview Auburn. Forwards, Jean Rosterman of Manilla. Mickey Oberding of Lakeview Auburn. Kathy Bauer of Manilla. Joanne Schodden of Lakeview Auburn. Vicki Peterson of Manilla. Sarah Werneman of Lakeview Auburn. Coach Larry Bullock of Manilla. And Coach Bud McRae of Lakeview Auburn.
Thank you very much, Frosty Mitchell. And we see Manilla once again wearing their dark green uniforms and on the basketball court already. The Lakeview Auburn Hawkeyes, two veteran coaches, Bud McRae against Larry Bullock. They got great programs. The schools are among the smaller in the tournament in terms of number of girls in school, 78 at Manilla and 109 girls at Lakeview Auburn. All right, it's Manilla with the ball in forecourt. Here's Pedersen. Ball tapped around, and Pedersen has the rebound back. Her number is 42. Pronounced it Pedersen, Vicki Pedersen. Gals in green with the ball. Kathy Bauer underneath to Rosterman. She's known as Miss Automatic, and this time it's Bauer underneath, and Bauer is followed by Kay Pick. And Kay Pick is almost a unanimous guess that she will be a tournament and all-state guard. Out of bounds play, and Rosterman tries it once again, and now a foul is called on Pedersen of Manilla. So turnabout is fair play, and the ball goes over into the defensive court of the Gals in white from Lakeview Auburn. Out of the backcourt, Diane Boos with the ball. Throws it across the line. And in front court now, the Lakeview Auburn Hawkettes. Nikki Oberning, one of the top scorers in the tournament. Top scorer on her team. And underneath to Schotten, and a layup shot as they work for it. And it's Sarah Werneman who draws the first score.
A 14-year-old freshman who broke the ice that time for Lakeview Auburn.
Right, she's 5'9", averaged about 13 points a game during the season.
As everybody knows, they've met twice before this year, Jim. The first time they met, it was Lakeview Auburn jumping out to an 8-1 lead. The second time, it was Manilla leading in the first quarter.
And that's Bauer shooting and scoring to tie it up now at a 2-2 ball game. Less than a minute gone from the start, and this place already is alive with tremendous excitement. Joanne Schotten, only a sophomore, breaks the feed. That's the play they like to work, except it doesn't work this time, and a foul is called on Schotten as Julie Hansen, the sophomore herself, pulls down the rebound.
When these two teams met before, it was 59-47 and 57-48, but both times it was played at Manilla, and they were played just 7 days apart. That was early in the season. Put on the neutral court right now, and you've got a good ball game.
All right, Shelley So threw the ball in. She's her school champion shot putter, too, number 55. Tony Moore, one of the smallest guards in the state, number 11. And now the ball goes across Julie Hansen into forecourt to... And now Bauer with the ball almost loses control of it. Back again to Pedersen. She puts it through the hoop. Great second effort by Pedersen as she scores.
Manilla not only believes in all of those passes to get inside closer to the bucket, they think the longer they pass the ball, the harder your guards have to work, and they might tire out.
All right, Joanne Schotten, the young gal, passes over to Mickey Oberting, and she's being bothered out there, I think, by the very tough guarding of Shelley So. And here's Schotten with the ball over to Oberting. Her follow-away jump shot. Giving her one chance over there, and Julie Hansen takes the rebound. Manilla has the ball. Beautiful bounce pass by Cho. Up to Rosterman, and here's Bauer with the ball. Underneath to Pedersen. Pedersen, a 3-second violation called against Manilla. Too much time in the lane. Number 52, Diane Boos, spells her name B-U-S-E. A senior will throw it in.
3 individual titles are at stake in this ball game. Rosterman could have one of them right there.
Right, Gene Rosterman, great interception, and a follow-through is good by Bauer. And that's the kind of defense that Manilla forwards play. Harassment constantly. 6-2 is the score.
Rosterman, I think, needs 63 points in this ball game to tie for the scoring derby lead.
Right, she does. Angie Summers leads with a total of 180. She got 52 in the consolation loss to Cedar Rapids, Washington. Shot and bounce pass out to Oberting. And Mickey Oberting puts it through for her first 2-pointer.
2 other individual titles in guard rebounds in the tournament. Kay Pick could be the leader. She's right now in second place to Kim Peters. Shelley So is leading in guard interception.
All right, and we talk about interception. There is Kay Pick coming up with a great interception of her own over to Diane Boos. And now the ball slapped around. Who's going to get it in? Once again, the defense played by the forwards of Manilla has been instrumental. And Bud McRae on his feet doesn't like what he sees out there. Rosterman on a swing-around shot. Off with the rebound this time is Gloria Oberting. Mickey Oberting's younger sister. Traveling called on the Lakeview guard court.
The official that was right on top of that is Eugene Leonard of Humboldt. He was the man that made the call. The other official is Don Lakeman out of Dyersville.
All right, and Debbie Cole, number 12, is now in the lineup. I want to get a little more quickness in there, I believe. Here's Rosterman over to Pedersen. Pedersen, number 41. She likes that outside shot. Tapped out of bounds. It'll be Lakeview down court with the ball.
Manilla, in addition to trying to win a state championship, Jim, is bucking some odds. No one has won the state championship undefeated since Mediapolis in 1973.
So they're really going for victory number 31 in a row in tonight's game. And I'll tell you one thing, Larry Bullock hasn't lost very many if you look at his record over the years. In forecourt now, it's Oberding with the ball. Back to Mickey Oberding again. Sarah Wernemont is up there, and Oberding's shot, and Shelley So comes down with the three. It's going to be a foul on Mickey Oberding. That's the first foul on Mickey Oberding, the second foul in the front court of Lakeview Auburn.
Coach Bud McRae was up off the bench that time. Lou McRae is also the high school principal, in addition to being the girls basketball coach. Matter of fact, he came there to be the principal, didn't start coaching till a year later.
Here's Manilla with the basketball, and Bauer. Two-handed jumper, Kathy Bauer, who is tied for 5th in scoring in the state tournament coming into this match. Kathy Bauer averaging 19 points a game during the season. Forecourt now to Wernemont. Out to Mickey Oberding. Oberding is one of those veteran players that can hit from any place. She's got the drive shot. She's got the 18-foot jumper. And now traveling is called. Moving her pivot foot is called against Joanne Shodden, the sophomore, and she wants to call a timeout for her team. Lakeview Auburn takes the timeout with the score. Manilla 8 and Lakeview Auburn 4. And there's Bud McRae just across the way from us talking with his ball club, and we're seeing two coaches that believe in a lot of defense because McRae's Lakeview Auburn Hawkettes have the finest defense in the state average-wise. 38 points a game is all they've given up, and for Manilla they've given up 47 points a game, but they're averaging close to 80 points a game on offense. And Tony Moore lobs that long pass across for Manilla to Rosterman to Bauer. Along the baseline to Pedersen. Here's the gal they call Miss Automatic with that shot of hers.
You're seeing the patience right now of the famous Manilla team. Tolerance, discipline, wait for the good shot.
They are state champions in track as well and have had great cross-country teams. And now a foul being called on Kay Pick, and that's foul number 2 on Kay Pick about midway in the first quarter, so you might jot that down because they need her in that backcourt. She's all tournament quality, all state quality, certainly.
Kay had 14 rebounds last night.
And there's Bauer putting the ball through the hoop as Bauer comes up with her 8th point.
And it's important, Jim, because the next time a foul on Lakeview Auburn, Manilla goes to the 1-1, and they can kill you with that.
All right, here's Shodden with the basketball now. Out in front to Wernemont, looking back to Shodden. Trying to get clear for that shot. They converge on her as she comes down the lane. How's it going to be called? Blocking or charging? It's a blocking foul called on Julie Hansen. Julie Hansen charged with her first foul. And they're not in a 1-on-1 at that end of the court yet. It's Mickey Oberding going to throw the ball in. Inbounding it is Wernemont. Nice shot by Wernemont, Sarah Wernemont. And she has to be thrilled. As Frosty said, she's only 14 years old, a freshman, playing in her first tournament.
And she has 4 of the 6 points for the defending state champions from LVA.
And once again, it's Pedersen over around to Gene Rosterman, their leading scorer, over to Bauer. Here's Bauer around Kay Pick, and look at that rebound. Kay Pick thinks she's her team's leading rebounder and one of the top in the state, and there's the defense played by Manilla as Rosterman picks it off. And now thrown out of bounds by Pedersen. And Larry Bullock kind of puts his head in his hands on that one.
Well, it's that tournament tension right now. Saturday night at Veterans Auditorium, 14,185 people, and the kids are feeling it.
And they expect to have a total of close to 90,000 for the week, 88,000 about, for this big tournament. And now Mickey Oberding is called for a traveling violation, dribbling violation, and Shelley So throws the ball in over to Rosterman, over to Bauer. Bauer looks around. They're tightly guarding her. Back to Rosterman again. Now back out in front. Pedersen to Rosterman, in and under to Bauer, who already has 8 points in this game. And Kay Pick takes it off again. I guess we could say Kay picks it off. Wernemont out in front to Oberding. Against that fine guard, Shelley So. To Shodden. Guarded by Julie Hansen. And there's Wernemont. It hits the iron. Goes out of bounds. No, it doesn't go out of bounds. They make a save on it. Shelley So comes up with it. Look at that lob pass into forecourt. And Rosterman has it over to Bauer. Back to Rosterman again and under to Bauer. She makes her move and the shot is good. Wait a minute, travels.
No bucket.
No bucket on that one. And a costly one for Manilla. Looked like it might have been a three-point play, but instead, no bucket, and it's going to be out of bounds with Kay Pick throwing it in for Lakeview Auburn, trailing 10-6. In forecourt, picked off by Manilla. Slap back again, loose ball, and now it'll be a jump. Goes into forecourt, it'll be Joanne Schodden. Jumping with Shelley So. Or no, they're not going to award it. They're going to award it into...
They call Lakeview Auburn for being over the center line.
Right. Over the line, violation. So that means that Manilla gets it in forecourt. Back again to Pedersen, and it comes to Bauer. Hooks it back out to Pedersen. Look at that movement in forecourt. To no avail, however, and Kay Pick gets the rebound after Rosterman's shot. Loose ball. Over the line it goes. Who's going to get the basketball? It's going to be awarded in once again to Manilla. They're having a lot of trouble at that line.
Yes, Coach Bud McRae right now is really unhappy out there. And Manilla getting a lot of work here in the forward court.
All right, Rosterman drills it through. Jean Rosterman gets her first 2 points of the ball game. Rosterman, their leading scorer during the season, averaging 35.
Lakeview Auburn, of course, was behind last year in the championship game with Mediapolis, Jim, right down to the wire and finally pulled it out.
All right, in underneath now, a good block by Tony Moore. Knocks it out of bounds. They ruled it. Not only did she block it, but that it was touched, apparently, by Wernemont. And now, Lakeview Auburn wants a timeout. With the score, Manilla 12, Lakeview Auburn 6. Jean Rosterman of Manilla in second place right now would need 63 tonight to tie.
Of course, she's capable if they can get her to that free throw line like last night. I think it was 19 out of 21 on that 1-and-1. She's an 88% free thrower, and she can get a lot of points in a hurry.
Right, best in the state. Here's Manilla now with the ball inbounded with 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and it's Rosterman with the ball out to Pedersen. You notice leaving Pedersen pretty free underneath there. Here's Bowers. They two-time her. Now Pedersen had the open shot for a moment, but didn't take it. Rosterman is going to take it, and she makes it. Jean Rosterman now, 4 points.
You know, we talk about their patience and their tolerance. They are patient and tolerant, but that doesn't mean that they're slow at all. They move the ball quickly. They just are patient waiting for the opening.
A lot of motion in that offense. And Schodden with the basketball now for Lakeview Auburn. The Hawkettes against the Hawkettes. Both teams have the same nickname. Out in front to Schodden for Lakeview. Guarded by Julie Hansen, and out to Sarah Wernemont, the 14-year-old freshman. Mickey Oberding having trouble against Shelley So, who's playing her tight.
And we're seeing what they call their Farragut offense, a tribute to Leon Plummer and the Farragut team.
Tried that little push pass there into Mickey Oberding, who was breaking down the lane, but the ball goes out of bounds. Touched by Shelley So, played in by Mickey Oberding. Wernemont with it. There's Wernemont, the ball popped in and out. That would have been good. Ball in and out, and so the first quarter comes to an end with Manilla leading by a score of 14-6. They're undefeated Manilla going for number 31, and Lakeview trying to do something they did last year, win the championship when they were not predicted to do so.
One of these teams will become a two-time winner in the history of girls basketball. Manilla was the state champion 2 years ago. Lakeview Auburn last year. Neither one of them has ever won it twice. Nobody's ever won it 3 times.
They expected defense to dominate tonight. That's doing that. Manilla's shot percentage 41.2. Lakeview is hitting 37.5. That indicates how tough those shots are to come by that normally would drop. Tony Moore now across the line. Here's Rosterman with the ball. Miss Automatic, they call her. 19 out of 21 free throws in the semifinals last night to lead her team into the championship game. Pedersen underneath the Bauer. Look at Kay Pick. She just grabbed that ball away, and she's fouled by Bauer. A quick pick by Pick, I guess we can say, as she got inside there, and Bauer fouls her.
That's only 3 personal fouls on the Manilla team total, Jim. There's 4 on Lakeview Auburn. And for Manilla, they've had a lot of fouls in this tournament. They're playing it pretty cautious.
Now Oberding, Gloria gets it across the line to young Sarah Wernemont, only a 14-year-old freshman. And here's older sister Mickey Oberding. Bounce passing to Joanne Schodden. She's just a sophomore. Mickey Oberding with the ball for Lakeview Auburn, working with Shelley So, against Shelley So, we should say. Out to Mickey, drives down the lane, ball slapped away, and they're just not getting those easy shots. Look at that guard court. This time, Wernemont's ball fails to drop. Outstretched fingers trying to grab it, and a foul is called on Tony Moore. She pulled a football play that time. Thought it was a fumble and tried to get the ball and slammed right into Mickey Oberding. So Mickey will play it in.
Tony Moore has great quickness. She's a sprinter on their state champion relay teams.
Schotten with the basketball now, number 50, the sophomore, 5'9", back to Mickey Oberding, drives the lane, looks for the open shot, and they don't mind working that ball around a lot, but they just are not getting any open shots here now. Schotten underneath, and as we're talking, a beautiful job on the fake by Wernemont, but the ball just doesn't go in off balance as she shoots it, and Hansen has the rebound to Tony Moore. Tony travels with the ball.
And a big turnover because Lakeview Auburn needs a bucket. Jim, Lakeview Auburn doesn't panic when they're behind. They came from way behind in the first round to beat West Burlington and had to come from quite a ways back to take the lead in the first half against Cedar Rapids, Washington.
By and large, they've held teams to their defensive average. Now it's a scramble for the ball. Coming up with it is Hansen. Manilla, the gals in green, have the ball. Over to Tony Moore. The pass is deflected. Wernemont comes up with it. She's fouled by Hansen. Foul number 2 on Hansen.
And we're to the 1-and-1, I believe, in my book, Jim. And that's where these teams get very dangerous. It'll be the youngster at the line, Wernemont, who scored 4 out of their 6 points. 14 years old before 14,000 people.
The pressure's on, but these young ball players have been doing a tremendous job in this tournament. Sarah Wernemont continues as she comes through. Sarah Wernemont during the season averaged 12.8, and she's hitting about 57% from the free throw line. Both of them are good. 14-7 score with 14-8 score rather with Manilla out in front. Manilla has the ball in forecourt. Here's Bauer with the basketball. Underneath Pedersen, back to Bauer again, and she's automatic tonight. Bauer with her 10th point of the game and first of the second quarter.
Manilla showing great quickness in the forward court. They're moving well off of the ball. That means the girl not with the ball, moving quickly to get open.
All right, man-to-man defense. You can watch them out there. Manilla on them like glue, even when they're out there at the 25-foot range. Trying to cause some pressure, trying to intercept the ball, playing the passing lane. Schotten with it, number 50. She's up and she's in over the head of Julie Hansen. That's her first point of the game. 16-10, Manilla by 6. And Manilla has the ball. The Hawkettes against the Hawkettes. Over to Rosterman. There's that shot. A little bit short. Bauer's rebound. Shot is up there. Point number 12 for Bauer.
They're a good offensive rebounding team, and they get a lot of second shot buckets, and that time it paid off.
And now the offense of Mickey Oberding.
And the Manilla defense forcing them away. They're not getting where they want to be.
And there's going to be a lot of fouls in this game before it's over with Iowa Hunts. There's Julie Hansen. She picks up number 3. And Larry Bullock, I think, wants his gals to call a timeout and assess this situation defensively. So there is a timeout on the floor with Manilla out in front here, 18-10 over Lakeview Auburn. All right, we're looking now at Manilla leading in this game, 18-10, and one of the reasons they are leading and are in this championship game is Jean Rosterman, a senior, 5'8". She's been to state 3 straight years, or 4 straight years, I guess it is, and 35 points a game is her average. And right now, we take a look at Joanne Schotten, and she's at the opposite end of the court. Schotten's free throw, rebounded by Soule. And they get it in that forecourt quickly. They don't waste any time about it. Here's Bauer, the leading scorer in this game, to Rosterman. Back to Bauer again, guarded by Kay Fick. She's the post guard on this team. Pedersen with it. Back again, Bauer along the baseline. And now the foul is called on Gloria Oberding. And that's good since they're in the 1-and-1. That'll put Bauer at the free throw line. Kathy Bowers, 65% free thrower. So far in this game, in this tournament, she's hit 16 out of 24 free throwers. And she very definitely does not hit that one. Gloria Oberding off with the rebound.
Jim, I think the missed free throws is indicative of the pressure that's on these kids right now.
Traveling is called on Kay Fick. I think they hesitated for a moment to see whether there was going to be a foul there, and a look of anguish across Bud McRae's face. He thought that was going to be a foul.
Don Lakeman from Dyersville is the official that's working on the floor there.
Here's Rosterman with it. Tremendous rivalry between these two teams. Bauer with it.
Located 60 miles apart, these teams.
Bauer now with 14 points, and she's the gal who's really killing Lakeview Auburn right now with a 20-10 lead. And it's Lakeview Hawkettes with the basketball. And underneath to Shodden. They're being driven right out of their offense by this tenacious guarding of the Manilla backcourt, which is keeping him totally off balance. Mickey Overton cannot get clear for a shot. There we have in underneath the shot. Beautiful. We're going to have to do more of that.
That's exactly what they like. Golly, the Henry Iba basketball school would love this one, Jim, with the patience and discipline working for the high percentage shot.
Here's Rosterman now underneath the Bauer. Leading scorer in the game. Almost intercepted by Kay Pick. Back to Bauer. She's got the shot, but she rushed it a little bit, and Gloria Oberning has the rebound. Lakeview Auburn trying to come back. Kay Pick with that baseball lob-type pass across the line. Underneath to Wernemont, over to Shodden. Guarded by Julie Hansen. Now it's Wernemont again, guarded by Tony Moore, one of the shorter guards and one of the quicker guards in the tournament. Underneath the Shodden, same play, and they're making it work. Overplaying and overloading, and then feeding the ball back down the right side of the lane. Shodden gets 2 quickies, and it's a 20-14 game. Manilla's lead now cut to 6 points. Now Manilla with the ball in forecourt. Underneath again to Bauer, and off-balance shot on the lip of the basket. It's down, but rebounded by Rosterman. Her shot still no good. Kay Pick has the rebound. The guards playing a tremendously big role, and Tony Moore is called for reaching in and touching and hitting the hand and slapping the ball away from Wernemont. And so now young Sarah Wernemont will come to the free throw line. Hottest free thrower in the state is on this floor right now. 88% free throwing by Jean Rosterman of Manilla. At the line, Wernemont makes her 3rd straight free throw under pressure, and the young lady, only 14 years old, has 7 points.
She is cool, calm, and collected for a freshman.
Look at this next one, right through the netting. Doesn't catch any iron. A 4-point ball game. Manilla's big 10-point lead is now down to 4. And it's Jean Rosterman with the basketball. Underneath, a wide-open shot by Pedersen.
Showing that
Rosterman slipped behind that time, and I don't think Bud McRae's too happy about that.
Rosterman not only a good shooter, but she's the floor general out there and a very good feeder.
All right, we're 3 minutes away from the end of the first half. And with the basketball is Mickey Oberning. This has been a fast-moving ball game so far. Shodden with the ball. Another great shot by the sophomore. Lakeview Auburn fans are going to be happy with her. You realize the scoring's been done here by Joanne Shodden with 8 points. Frosty and Sarah Wernemont with 8. 16 of their 18 points have come from these 2 young ladies, both underclassmen.
164 underclassmen in this tournament. That sounds good for the future.
Okay, Pedersen with the ball now for the gals in green from Manilla. Green means speed, and that's what they have. Green means goal. This time, Pedersen shot, rebounded, and a foul is called on Bauer.
And so they get the option free throw now, and I'll bet on Mickey Oberding being the one to go to the line.
Right, Mickey Oberding, excellent free thrower. She'll go to the free throw line for her team, and Mickey is a 73% free thrower in this tournament so far. Mickey Oberding has hit 30 of 34 free throws. She scored 117 points. And right now, she can make this a 2-point ball game if she scores. And a rarity for her, she doesn't score. Julie Hansen, number 23, has the rebound. Shelley So, that two-handed throw into forecourt, stolen back again by Lakeview. Sarah Wernemont came up with a clutch steal on that basketball. Now back to Shodden again, who has really done the damage. Her last 2 drives being hounded by Shelley So. Back again to Wernemont. Out to Shodden with the basketball.
Jim, I'll have to wonder if they aren't making So work awfully hard. She's running around an awful lot for a 6-foot girl.
Right. She normally stations herself underneath. And a loose ball, and it's going to be a jump. Wernemont against So. And Wernemont now will be at about a 3-inch height disadvantage. She's 5'9", Shelley So at 6 feet.
So goes So, so goes Manilla right now.
Right, and right now it's Tony Moore with the ball as it came down. Over to Bauer, back again to Rosterman. Now on the right side to Pedersen, now to Rosterman. Jean Rosterman, that's her shooting. Rosterman's going to rebound. They do that so well. Great track program. And Larry Bullock believes the stamina and quickness of his team is largely the result of the participation in track. Rosterman's rebound is no good, and it's picked up and thrown into forecourt. Long play to Schotten. Looked like she had the shot, but she didn't take it.
That's the patience that their coach. She was waiting for somebody to get a better shot.
Right, here's Schotten with it down. Tries a bounce pass, and what's going to happen here? It's going to be...
Lakeview Auburn.
Lakeview Auburn will get it out of bounds. Ball was kicked.
Shelley hit it with her foot.
And now it goes over to Mickey Oberning. Makes her move. Lobs it back out to Wernemont. Oberning with the basketball.
This will be the lowest scoring half of the tournament thus far.
Right, and that shows you what kind of defense they're both playing. Oberding. There's that play to Schotten. This time they block it partly, but not completely. She gets around Tony Moore, makes a great faking move, and it's a one-point ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Manilla leading 22-21 in a thriller that has the crowd on its toes. Lakeview Auburn has outscored Manilla 11-2 in the last 4 minutes and 15 seconds. The shot is no good by Pedersen. Kay Pick has the ball. They have a chance to take a lead by halftime, but she got overeager that time and lobbed the ball out of bounds.
Larry Bullock is holding up one finger. In 16 seconds, he's telling them to take one shot. What he's telling them is, let's either go in leading 22-21 or 24-21.
All right, Debbie Cole, number 12, is in that lineup now in the backcourt for Lakeview Auburn.
Who will
10
take the
seconds
shot?
left to play. Bauer. Ball is thrown away and stolen by Gloria Oberding. 3 seconds to go. She's got to get it out of the backcourt. Here's Schotten with it down court, and she and Silly So both go after it, and what a first half we've had. A little bit of everything. You know we're going to have a great second half with that kind of halftime score. That's the end of the first half. With the score, Manilla 22, Lakeview Auburn 21. We'll be right back with the Hall of Fame presentations in just a moment.
Nostalgia, as 5 former greats are inducted into the Hall of Fame. A guard, Carol Blanchard of the Central City team, 1961. A great forward, Sharon Tyler, South Hamilton, 1967. A forward, Norma Schwartz from Hinton, 1956. A center, Doris Ward of the Correctionville team, 1920. And a guard, Cheryl Wishmeyer, Mediapolis, 1968. Members now of the Hall of Fame. You talk about class at the Sweet 16.
And there you see the basketball court all ready to receive the fast feet of these 2 teams from West Central Iowa that are going to determine the championship here in 2 more quarters of action.
And Jim, the last 2 years in a row, we did have upsets, of course, when the upper bracket won it. Manila upsetting Adel 2 years ago. Lakeview Auburn upsetting Mediapolis just a year ago. And certainly, we have a chance here for that upper bracket team, Lakeview Auburn, to pull the upset again. Mainly because I guess it's an upset if you go by ratings. They happen to be rated in the final analysis as number 10 when Manila was rated number 2.
All righty, now we have action, and they're driving toward the west basket to our left. Lakeview Auburn inbound at the ball, and Shelley So is tied up right away with Mickey Oberding. Be about 6 feet versus 5 feet 9 here on this jump. So the lady, number 55 in green, having the advantage. And Tony Moore took it, but right off the bat, a foul is called on Sarah Wernemont, the freshman, in the forecourt of Lakeview Auburn. So Sarah picks up number 1, and Shelley So will throw the ball in from the north sideline here at Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines. Underneath, it goes to Pedersen, who did such a great job in the first half, and the ball is ripped away from her by Kay Peck. Long pass to Schotten. Back out to Mickey Oberding. Even when to get that, well, she didn't exactly have it wide open, but Wernemont does, and comes down, a follow through by Schotten, and she's tied up with Shelley So.
Shelley So has good strength, along with the good jumping ability and the blessing of 6-foot size.
They were seeing the 2 premier guards in the state right now against each other, Shelley So and Kay Peck.
The 2 best 6-footers anyway, Jim.
Right.
These are the 2 biggest girls left in the tournament. Peck and So are both 6 foot tall.
All right, Rosterman with the ball. Back over on the far side now to Pedersen. We have a 1-point ball game here, defensively played. Rosterman And her shot, they're getting just one, and it's Kay Pick. You guessed it, who got the rebound.
While we're talking about
Burnham with the ball.
While we're talking size, this tournament started with 18 girls over 6 feet tall. Last year's tournament had 14.
Now the ball is thrown out of bounds as Shodden tripped and fell. And Bud McRae is on his feet protesting that. He thinks there was contact out there. Tony Moore out to Julie Hansen.
Bud thinks there's a reason she tripped.
Right. That's exactly what he's trying to say. Here's Rosterman with the ball. Down the lane, back to Rosterman again, in and under, and that give-and-go play, a beauty, as Bauer connects with her 16th point of the night.
And so Manilla, which has never trailed tenaciously, clings to a small lead.
Okay, the bump and run defense, and now they catch the bump, and Shelley So is charged with her first foul.
Shelley is playing further out on the court in this coverage than she's played, and again, I really worry about her conditioning, Jim, maybe in the fourth quarter, because in that matchup, she's having to move an awful lot out in the front of the court.
She's more a shot putter and track than a sprinter, but she's very active out there for a gal 6 feet tall, I'll tell you that, and doing a great job as she's guarding that pressure defense on Schotten. Back to Oberding underneath to Wernemont. Wernemont gets in there behind. And I guess that must be one of their tactics, is to pull her out on the floor, get her away from that basket area. 24 to 23, Manilla with a 1-point lead. Rosterman to Bauer. Pedersen to Rosterman to Bauer. They're ganging up on her when she gets in there, two-timing her. Rosterman now. Back to Pedersen again, to Rosterman, and now to Bauer. Guarded by Kay Pick along the line underneath Bauer, and it's a jump ball call. Playing it very tight underneath there.
You can really begin to feel that tension, Jim. The crowd is really starting to get with the action.
Bauer jumping against Debbie Cole, and now we have another jump ball. This is a game of chess out there, Frosty. Everybody making their moves very cautiously.
And great chess players are these two coaches.
24 to 23 score. Lowest scoring game of the tournament so far between two excellent defensive teams. Still another jump ball is called.
And it could be one of the lowest scoring championship games in a long time.
Gloria Oberding now, number 20, will jump against Jean Rosterman. Who's going to get it now? Well, it's Lakeview Auburn. Debbie Cole has it. Over to Kay Pick. Pick loses the ball, and another jump ball. Jump ball number 4. We may never get out of this end of the court if they keep this up.
And as the color camera showed you the knee guards of Rosterman at that time, you can tell she's been on the floor a lot of times. Her knee guards are even starting to wear through, white on green.
Okay, the tip now out of bounds, and it will be Manilla in forecourt. Manilla. Jean Rosterman throws it in. And you can tell the Lakeview fans don't agree with that call. Over to Pedersen, back to Rosterman. Underneath to Bauer. Bauer, ball almost tapped away. Rosterman shot.
That's her distance. She likes that one.
Right, and that's her
18
6th
feet.
point of the night. She averaged 35 during the season. Lakeview Auburn down by 3, 26 to 23. Over to Mickey Oberding. Back again to Joanne Schodden. Here's Schodden on that layup shot. Hits it with too much force, but Sarah Wernemont gets it, and now she's tied up by Shelley So.
Both of the referees agreed on the call. Both threw both arms up for the jump. Some of the referees in the audience not agreeing.
No, they think it there may have been too much contact on there, but that's what counts is what they call on the floor. And
Debbie Cole went out for Lakeview Auburn.
A senior versus a freshman, and the senior gets the edge on the jump, the taller girl.
Diane Pick is the girl that came in.
Back again now to Jean Rosterman. Number 25, Miss Automatic, 19 out of 21 free throws last night. 88% free throw shooting, and there's Pedersen. I'll tell you, in a game this low scoring, 28 to 23 lead at this stage of the game is fairly convincing. Lakeview Auburn.
And Jim, I'll tell you, either one of these coaches with many more than 5 points would start to slow down on you, and they can do it well.
Now a foul called on Hansen. That'll put Oberding out of bounds. They're not up to 1-1 yet. 28 to 23.
Lakeview Auburn needs a bucket. They need it bad right now. You just don't want to let Bullock get much more than a 5-point margin on you in a tight ball game, because he'll just slow it down.
Wernemont with the ball, and this may be it. It is. And the freshman comes through again.
Our fans will remember.
Sarah Wernemont, only 14 years old, Frosty, is now the leading scorer for Lakeview Auburn.
It was 2 years ago against Adele where Bullock slowed it down in the guard court. You can't do that anymore, but he believes in it.
And now coming right back to take that basket away from him is Kathy Bauer, having her best tournament game with 18 points.
It's a good night to have it.
Shodden with the basketball now for Lakeview. They trail here 30-25. We're midway in the third quarter. Shodden going head-to-head with Shelley Sow. And underneath, Wernemont. And the fired-up ball. Great defensive play by Shelley Sow.
That's where you can do it, in the lane, or shooting that way. You can tie the girl up, and she did a brilliant job.
Wernemont had a surefire two-pointer on that one, except for Shelley Sow. She saw it, and Tony Moore now with the ball on the jump. Great fast break pass that time, and it's tapped out of bounds by Diane Pick, who has just come into the lineup. That saved a bucket, temporarily at least. Manilla with the ball, off to Rosterman. She does her pivoting. Out to Pedersen, and no good. Pick with a rebound. Now it's Oberding in forecourt. Underneath the Shodden, and it's good, and she's fouled by Tony Moore.
Jim, there's what I was mentioning a moment ago.
Big play. Shodden coming down and right.
When they matched Shodden up one-on-one on the foot race with Shelley Sow, and they isolated that time, she'll beat Sow to the bucket, and I think Sow could slow down a little bit. She's working awful hard.
She certainly is. And now it's Shodden at the line trying to get a three-pointer out of this. It is no good, and Show's off for the rebound. And they call a violation against Shelley Sow. Apparently in the lane too fast, or was standing in the lane, so now Shodden has life on her second free throw.
She jumped in to try and screen Wernemont out away from the basket.
And she makes it pay off. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a two-point ball game. 30-28 in favor of Manilla. The Hawkettes against the Hawkettes. Rosterman, top of the circle. Pedersen off to Rosterman again, back to Pedersen. Rosterman, Kay Pick really guarding Bauer down there. Underneath, Bauer has the ball and hooks it over her head. A beautiful play and a foul on Pick, and now we have the three-pointer the other way.
Kay Pick's a young lady that didn't play basketball until she was in 9th grade, and she might well be all-tournament this year. She went to a parochial school at Auburn that didn't have basketball, and only played with her brothers, Don, Doug, and Joe, but they taught her a lot of basketball.
33-28, a three-point play, and here's the long pass into Shodden. She just bounces it right back again to Wernemont, to Mickey Oberding. Over to Wernemont. Out to Shodden, being fronted there by Shelley Sow. She tries to drive down inside, and a foul on Sow. They're really making her commit herself as she goes down, and she's got her own little vendetta going on with Shelley Sow. They're not up to 1-1.
She was all-tournament 2 years ago, along with Rosterman when they were super sophomores.
And now another foul is called on Shelley Sow. Third foul on Shelley. And now in the backcourt of Manilla, the 1-and-1's in effect. We have Shelley Sow with 3 fouls, Julie Hansen with 4, and Tony Moore with 3.
Our camera shows you they've switched Sow on the rebound position from the near side to the far side on this alignment.
Wernemont's at the line.
14 years old.
33-29. This young lady is going to have something to talk about for a long time.
If she makes this free throw, she makes her age.
And she does exactly that.
14.
33-20. 33-30, correction. Three-point game. Manilla in the lead with the ball. Tony Moore, number 11. 2:50 left to play in an exciting third quarter. Ball stolen away by Shodden. Underneath to Oberding. Back again to Wernemont. Lakeview Auburn comes up with a steal. Bounce pass. Shodden's shot no good. They come down, and it's Shelley Sow just ripping that ball right away. She said, hey, that's mine, and she took it. Bauer back to Rosterman. Great game out here tonight. Particularly a tremendous defensive matchup. Underneath down to Rosterman. Over again to Pedersen. Kathy Bauer, leading scorer in the game. Back to Rosterman, leading scorer for Manilla for the season. And there's Rosterman, miss automatic, but not that time. Kay Pick, look at that rifle shot she throws out of there on the rebound. Now Oberding. Back again to Oberding. And here's Shodden with the ball. Great fake. Good.
Excellent move.
Great fake. A beautiful fake by Joanne Shodden. 33-32. Manilla with a 1-point lead is all they have. Rosterman to Bauer.
Aren't you glad you came?
Tremendous game. Over to Rosterman. Out to Pedersen. 1:39 to play, third period. And underneath to Bauer. Kathy Bauer looks around, lobs it back out to Pedersen, and and it's no good. The ball tapped around. Is it going to go across the line? Pedersen retrieves it.
There's that
play.
Great Manilla speed just paid off on Pedersen retrieving.
Right, that relay experience is helping him out. Shouting defense, 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 and Rosterman's ball pops in and out, and Kay Pick is fouled by Kathy Bauer. 3 fouls on the forward, Kathy Bauer. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, as they march to the other end of the court, that for the first time tonight, Lakeview Auburn has the chance to take the lead.
And Mickey Overding is a precious free thrower.
Mickey Overding at the free throw line. She's a 73% free thrower. She'll be trying to make these two on a 1-on-1. It's a tie ball game.
That's the young lady that beat Mediapolis, of course, just a year ago tonight, Jim, with 8 final points.
Mickey Overding in this tournament so far, before tonight, made 30 out of 34 free throw attempts.
She hit that final one with 16 seconds to go in overtime.
Score is tied at 33, and it remains that way as Julie Hansen picks up the rebound, almost stolen back again. Here's Hansen with it. Now to Shelley Shaw. And the ball is loose, stolen away by Overding. And the Lakeview fans are going wild.
Schotten was forcing that all the way.
On the right side to Joanne Schotten. Underneath now, and Wernemont shot is good. And Lakeview Auburn takes the lead over Manilla, 35-33. You don't think those Lakeview fans are happy? Wow. They're going wild. Underneath, Kay Pick steals the ball, and a foul is called on Hansen. The place is bedlam.
That's
5 fouls on Hansen. And Larry Bullock of Manilla wants a timeout. And you can see the score. It's Lakeview Auburn 35, Manilla 33. He's playing against a guard court, which has an awful lot of fouls against it, including 5 on Julie Hansen, a total of 15 fouls on Manilla as a club.
And Mickey Overding, who goes to the line, is very, very good in a pressure situation. She's been there before.
She's made it 75% of her free throws all season long, or close to it. Overding is up, and it's no good, but the rebound by Wernemont. Back to Overding again.
And again, you
out
see
to Schotten, to Overding. Back to Schotten. They have patience. They just take their time. Schotten tries to drive the lane, and she is called for charging. Charging foul on Schotten. And now a substitution as Hansen goes out. Coming in is Julianne Scheckinger, number 31.
Larry Bullock's going to have to juggle these people. He's in foul trouble. He's going to have to juggle them carefully.
All right, Tony Moore now trying to get the ball out. Scheckinger, number 31, being hounded by Schotten. And there's a lot of defense being played by those forwards and a lot of contact there. They get it across the line. Rosterman takes it.
14 seconds in the third quarter.
Here's Rosterman with the ball. They retain possession, of course, between quarters, so there's no urgency to fire that up there, but Bauer is going to do it. And the score is tied at 35. How much closer can you get than that at the end of the third quarter mark? The score at the end of the third quarter is Lakeview Auburn 35 and Manilla 35.
Jim, only 7 schools have ever won it back-to-back. That's what Lakeview Auburn's trying to do it. They were the champions last year. Last one to do it was Montezuma in 69-70. Gladbrook did it 59-60. Garnavilla 53-54. Wyoto, West Bend, Centerville, and Ida Grove all did it.
And you remember Montezuma lost in their chance to win their 90th game. They won 89 straight, which is a record. And now, with the ball in forecourt, it's Lakeview Auburn as we start the fourth and final quarter. Schotten down the lane, and good. Lakeview Auburn sitting 50% for the game. Manilla hitting 41.5. It's 37-35. Lakeview Auburn.
And the pressure is fantastic on these people.
Ball is intercepted, stolen away by Gloria Overding. Back to Kay Pick. Great defensive play coupled with a little bad passing there on the part. Now with Overding in possession of the basketball in forecourt, and a 37-35 lead in favor of Lakeview Auburn.
And watch them slow down.
Overding with the ball. Back out now to Wernemont.
They won't take the bad shot.
Wernemont out to Schotten. Down the lane. Back out to Overding. This is a good shot for her. She makes it good.
And Manilla doesn't dare let Bud McRae's team from Lakeview Auburn get much more than a 4-point lead.
Biggest lead for Lakeview Auburn Hawkettes along the baseline, and a charging foul on Bauer. A big call.
And Larry Bullock wants more timeout. He doesn't want Lakeview Auburn to get much more of an advantage.
Right, with a 38-point defensive average, you know what they're going to do. They're going to put a bullet right through that basketball. The score is Lakeview Auburn 39, Manilla 35. There's a timeout.
Well, it's a kind of a ball game. That's Bud McRae right now. He's in the driver's seat. Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
Okay, and the inbounds play, and they rule it ball batted there and goes back out of bounds again, apparently.
Lakeview Auburn on that 4-point lead and the ball.
Here's Pick with the ball. Back out. Jump ball. A great play defensively by Gene Rosterman.
She was a guard in the state tournament as a freshman and a darn good one.
You can tell she is. She still has those guard characteristics plus great shooting ability. The ball is loose, and who's going to get it? The foul is called on Diane Pick, number 24.
Manilla not yet on the 1-1, and that's very important in this ball game.
Yeah, but Manilla also has possession, and that is important as Rosterman throws it in. Back again to Bauer. Over to Rosterman on the far side. Rosterman now working very deliberately to try to get that shot. Ederson to Rosterman. Consuming a lot of time here, too. Bauer with it, and it's good. Bauer hits it. 25 points for Kathy Bauer, and what a game she's playing. 2-point ball game.
And that probably kept Lakeview Auburn out of a stall game, that basket.
And now they're coming out. They're fronting him. They're not letting him just stand around out there and not do anything. Shodden with the ball against Shelley So.
If they ever
get rid of that ball, they got 3 seconds to do it in girls basketball.
If they ever get down to the point where Manilla has to foul somebody, Shodden will be the one they'll foul.
Mickey Oberding tries the shot, and a charging foul on Shodden. Big call here. Shodden picks up her 3rd foul. Now they're discussing things out there. Let's see what is going to happen. Shodden was charged with her 3rd foul. They were checking to see whether it's 1-1. Offensive foul. That's what the decision was. Offensive foul. Tony Moore with the ball. Gets it across the line, and it will be awarded over to Manilla.
A big turnover a moment ago on that player control foul, because Manilla now has the dice, Jim. They can tie it up.
All right, Manilla down by 4 points a couple of moments ago, and there is Rosterman in and out. A big rebound by Pick. Kay Pick across the line, and it goes into forecourt to Lakeview Auburn. What a thriller we're seeing here. Mickey Oberding with the ball. Almost stolen away. Wernemont's shot is no good. They come down and show with a key rebound as she wrestled it away. Because they had one guard flat on her face. Tony Moore was out of the play. Jump ball, tip control. Let's see who's going to get it now. They awarded into Lakeview.
In the circle on that particular jump.
Violation.
Jim, in Iowa, would this be considered a thriller with Manilla?
A thriller with Manilla, trying to be the killer, but I don't know. Lakeview Auburn may be the killer. We've got a lot of thrills coming up in 5.5 minutes remaining. Lakeview with the ball and a 2-point lead. As Mickey Oberding bounce pass now back to Wernemont. The big shot is good. And the freshman comes through.
A young freshman, 14 years old, is really coming on tonight.
18 points now for Wernemont, only a freshman. Underneath to Rosterman, and what a key play for this gal.
A clutch bucket. She had to have that one to keep Lakeview Auburn from slowing it down with 5 minutes to play.
Lakeview leading by 2, 41-39. Shodden with the basketball, going head-to-head with Shelley So. Underneath, and Wernemont again. Look at that drive. The basket counts, and she's fouled. And now, for the first time, Lakeview Auburn can take a 5-point lead. They're ahead 43-39, and that is the end of the road for Julie Hansen. Julie Hansen fouls out. Coming in to replace her is Julianne Scheckender, number 31. Big shot now coming up. If she can convert the 3-point play, it's a 5-point game, and it is not a 5-point game. 4-point lead again for Lakeview Auburn. Now it's Manilla with the basketball in forecourt. Rosterman.
And it's important you get down to the 4:45 mark now.
Underneath, Rosterman again with the ball. Rosterman, and I think a foul coming up in the backcourt right on Lakeview Auburn. And that foul is fouled on Gloria Oberding. 1-1 shot. And here comes the young lady who leads the state in free throw percentage. She's hit 88% of her free throws all season. She made 19 out of 21 last night.
Once made 85 in a row in competition.
Rosterman. You can almost close your eyes and announce that the free throw is good. 43-40.
If there is anything automatic in sports, you're watching it.
If they ever get to a designated free thrower in the pros, hire this gal. If you're listening, Red Auerbach. 2-point game. And now Diane Fick. Long lob pass into forecourt. It's batted back again. And now it's Lakeview with the basketball. Mickey Oberding out to Shodden. Joanne Shodden with the ball. Open shot by Wernemont. Look at that young gal. Put it through the hoop. 14 years old. 22 points for Sarah Wernemont.
Having a career day.
45-41 score along the baseline now, and it comes right back.
Here we go. Hammer and tongs.
2-point ball game. 4:06 to play. What a game we're seeing.
And the whole season is coming down now to the final 1/2 of the 4th quarter.
Right. Lakeview Auburn with the basketball in forecourt. Off to Wernemont. Over on the right side now. Shodden down the lane to Mickey Oberding. Here's Oberding. Shot it. It's no good. But underneath is Shodden. And she's fouled by by Seckinger. Joanne Shodden is fouled in the act of shooting by Julianne Seckinger.
There's a young lady at the free throw line, Jim, that was 5th in the state high jump, 3rd in the hurdles last year. She's an athlete.
All right, timeout Manilla with the score on the floor. Lakeview Auburn 45, Manilla 43.
Jim, while you were busy there, I counted noses in the auditorium. I come up with 14,354 on the final night. For the tournament, that's 86,315, and that is a new record.
And congratulations to Wayne Cooley, his entire staff, the Girls Union Board, and everybody who makes this thing go. And there's a gal who's trying to make Lakeview Auburn go right now.
I mentioned she's a great athlete. She also showed the grand champion steer at the county fair this year.
It's up and in, and it's a 4-point lead for Lakeview Auburn with 3:46 to play. And Manilla has the basketball. Julianne Seckinger trying to get it out of the backcourt over to Tony Moore. Now they have it in forecourt.
And they have to score. Lakeview Auburn will stall on him with a 4-point lead.
Underneath, and as she tries to drive in, let's see how they're going to call this. I believe blocking on Kay Pick. It is. Foul number 4 on Kay Pick, and that'll send Bauer to the free throw line with a couple of must-wins.
She was a first-team all-conference performer, Kathy Bauer. Former guard, and a good one.
Bauer at the line.
That free throw is probably going to keep Lakeview Auburn out of a stall game with 3:32 to play.
Right. And now Bauer again at the line. This time a key miss, and Kay Pick has the ball. Out to Diane Pick. Across the line. Goes into forecourt. And it's Wernemont with it. 3-point lead for Lakeview Auburn. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Look at that tight man-to-man defense being used. Underneath and Oberding. Bank shot. Look at that one. The biggest lead that they've had so far. 49-44 in favor of Lakeview Auburn. Manilla with the basketball. They beat this team twice during the season. A key shot that fails to go in. And now let's see what they elect to do as Kay Pick comes down and she is fouled by Kathy Bauer. That'll be number 4 on Bauer.
When they get the option free throw, Mickey Oberding will be their choice when time comes back in.
Manilla calls a timeout. And this may be the game right here, the strategy that's used. The timeout, it's Lakeview Auburn 49, Manilla 44.
Well, Hampton was number 1. They, of course, got beat early. Lakeview Auburn was rated as high as number 4 at one time in the season.
All right, and then they got beat, of course, and had to drop down. But now we have Mickey Oberding with a key 1-and-1 free throw situation at the free throw line, the biggest free throws of the season. And that is it.
Wow, what
goes through the hoop. A big one, a 5-point lead now, or 6-point lead, we should say, for Lakeview Auburn with 2:59 to play.
They never had a lead like that against Mediapolis a year ago.
Right. And now they have a 7-point lead, which is as good as 4 buckets.
And 51 points that they're sitting on is exactly what they'd had in overtime to beat Mediapolis, 51-50.
And now we have some interesting contrast. Coming out of the backcourt is Shelley So, and for the first time we see Manilla with its back to the wall in this tournament, trailing by 7 points. Bauer tries to drive down. The ball is stolen away. And now Lakeview Auburn with the basketball and a 7-point lead. And Mickey Oberding has it. Now they can afford to play for the foul.
Shodden will be the one they'll try and foul if they have to.
Over to Oberding.
Shodden is only 7 for 19 at the free throw line in this tournament.
But Oberding and Shodden. And now Sarah Wernemont. And now a foul is called on Shelley So as she tries to get that ball away. 4 fouls on Shelly So.
If it gets down to the point where Manilla tries to pick on Schotten and foul her, watch for the strategy then to bring Gloria Oberding in to the forward court in place of Schotten, put Schotten in the guard court, so Oberding can shoot the free throw.
Imagine what they're saying over in West Central Iowa right now, Frosty. A lot of excitement over there.
You know, a town that's going crazy right now, Jim, probably is Ida Grove. Ida Grove beat Lakeview-Auburn early in the year. Lakeview-Auburn beat them in the sectional tournament.
Right, and Manilla beat them twice, but that, I think, did a lot to supply Lakeview-Auburn with the incentive they obviously have tonight, and Mickey Oberding can give them a 9-point lead, and she does. Unbelievable comeback here by Lakeview-Auburn, the team that wasn't supposed to be able to do it, and they now lead 53-44 over highly favored Manilla. Rosterman down the line, and Gene Rosterman puts it through with 2:05 to play. Time is of the essence right now in this game.
Lakeview-Auburn
with the ball.
Lakeview-Auburn is in their slow-down game. This is their passing game, way out in front. You can't stall in girls basketball. You have 3 seconds to either dribble, pivot, or move towards it.
And Julianne Seconder, who came in replacing Julie Hansen, commits the foul.
That is Schotten that they fouled, Jim, as I mentioned a moment ago, and there's a reason. She's 7 for 19 so far in the tournament at the free throw line.
And Schotten for the season is hitting 62% of her free throws. Let's see what she does here now. Joanne Schotten, only a sophomore, and she's short, and Shelly So gets the rebound. The game isn't over yet by a long shot.
So the strategy of fouling Schotten paid off if they can get the bucket.
Okay, now to Pedersen and back to Rosterman again. She's the gal they go to, and is it going to be good? It is. Rosterman now with 2 quick buckets has put her ball club right back in the thick of it. They're just down by 5. Manilla trailing by 5 points. Wernemont back out in front to Mickey Oberding, guarded by Shelly So. Underneath, Schotten should get an 8. Oh, she hits it, but she's fouled. Hits the underside of the ring. A foul is called on Tony Moore.
And again, we're seeing Schotten, the one they're trying to foul. She's 7 out of 20 now at the free throw line in the state tournament. Bud McRae wants timeout.
And there is a timeout on the floor with the score. Lakeview-Auburn 53, Manilla 48. 12 for Mickey Oberding. And let's watch her now as she tries her first one. It is good.
Well, that upsets the strategy, Cart. She's now...
Right, and she can give her team now a 7-point lead, which may be insurmountable with 1:23 to go. She does exactly that. Joanne Schotten. Manilla with the basketball. 2 towns, 60 miles apart. West Central Iowa battling it out here in the last seconds of this game, and there's Rosterman. What a ball player she is. What a season, what a career she's had over there. One of the greats of all time.
1:10, right down to the wire.
16 points for Rosterman. 1:06 to play, and it's 55-50. A 5-point lead for Lakeview-Auburn. Lakeview, an adept team, is stalling it out, but a little more work against a defense as good as Manilla's. And now, Schotten falls down. No foul is called.
49 seconds.
We're down now. The clock is counting away, and a pushing foul is called on number 45, Jane Chapman.
Watch him switch Oberding, I think, now. And they're going to want Gloria Oberding, probably. He's going to pull everybody away. What he doesn't want is a foul on the rebound right now, obviously.
Absolutely. He doesn't need a foul. And Joanne Schotten goes to the line with 2 pressure free throws once again. But she's lived with pressure and fails on the first one. The score is 55-50. Lakeview-Auburn came from, look at that face. That tells the story right there. Bud McRae, the coach of Lakeview-Auburn, and Schotten's free throw is good. He's lived about 1,000 years here in the last 3 minutes, and big interception picked up by Schotten. Big interception. 6-point lead for Lakeview-Auburn, and they're about to repeat as champions. And that Lakeview-Auburn team is ready to bounce off that bench and go crazy. They're already going wild out there now. 28 seconds. Look at them on the far side. They're hugging, they're kissing each other, and the score is 56-50 with 28 seconds to go.
Jim, Lakeview-Auburn was never favored in a single ball game in this state tournament.
No, they weren't.
Unless it would have been the opening round.
Except I've got to get this in. The man who predicted on our Beat the Bear show that they would win was Mr. E. Wayne Cooley.
I recognize the name.
Using the human computer, Mike Henderson's unfair advantage to find out that they were going to win it. And look at the free throw line, it's Joanne Schotten, a sophomore and a freshman. and a great post guard. Kay Pick, the big story tonight for Lakeview Auburn. 28 seconds to go, and history is about ready to be made. Kay Pick comes up with a steal. It's Lakeview Auburn leading 58 to 50. 20 seconds to go. The clock is counting down. Here's Shodden. She's fouled again by Shelley Soe. And now it's Soe with 5 fouls. And Julie Hansen started it all as she fouled out. Lakeview Auburn's first lead came at 49 seconds to third quarter, 35 to 33. And they've built steadily on that.
She's shooting 2 this time, Jim.
She has a chance to give her team the same lead that they were down by in the first half. And they can't believe it. On the Lakeview Auburn bench, they're crying. They're screaming.
4 straight upsets in the
And
state
look at
tournament.
that. Sodden comes through. 60 to 50. Lakeview Auburn has the championship for the second straight year. A Cinderella finish from a team that was not expected to win any game here at state. Manilla, the favorite, frustrating, trying to get the rebound, and it's Kay Pick. She takes it. The ball ignominiously goes out of bounds. They go for it, and ladies and gentlemen, that is the championship. And you can tell who won it as you look out there, and Lakeview Auburn going absolutely mad. Ankeny, West Burlington, Mediapolis, and Lakeview Auburn were the teams that provided the victories for the champions of 1976.
After all of those all-tournament thrills, an all-tournament team. At forward, Jean Rosterman of Manila. High-scoring Angie Summers of Andrew. And at forward, Sue Peterson of Cedar Rapids, Washington. And Mickey Olberding of Lakeview Auburn. In the guard court, Kim Peters of Andrew, named captain. Kay Pick of Lakeview Auburn. Repeating as all-tournament guard, Shelley Soe of Manila. And Chris Gorman of Cedar Rapids, Washington. The sweetest of the Sweet 16. Executive Secretary